Okay, so hello everyone. And trying to do more of this live kind of stuff, we thought we'd do some live storytelling and sort of see how that goes. And just like with the game last week, if you were there for that, if you want to, send us some feedback to so we can know what works and what doesn't work, and what we can, sort of improve on and stuff. But this is my bubblegum story. And I think a lot of you guys have heard it before. It's one of the stories about from my childhood. But once upon a time, me and Andrew, my little brother, went outside to the park. And we were waiting for our friends to come outside. And while we were waiting, we were sitting on a little climbing gym. And I happened to reach my hand in my pocket and I pulled out something that I did not know was in there. It was money. I don't know how I got it, but there was $1 in my pocket, and this was a long time ago, so $1 could get you a lot of good stuff. So I said, Andrew, while we're waiting for our friends, what if we go to the store and we get some goodies with this $1? And Andrew liked that idea. He was the little brother. So we walked to the store, we walked in, and it felt like the best place on earth. There were so many choices. I did not know what to pick, and Andrew did not know what to pick. And we probably took a long time, but finally, Andrew picked a pack of potato chips, and I found Strawberry Splash Bubblicious Bubblegum. And it smelled so good, and it looked so yummy that I had to pick that one. So I gave the person the money, and then they gave us the bubblegum for me and the chips for Andrew. And as we're walking back to the playground, I open up the pack, I take one piece out, I pop it in, chew it, and oh, it's so good. And then I start to blow a bubble with it, because it's bubblegum, and sometimes bubblegum's good for blowing bubbles. So I blew, and it popped. And I said, Andrew, did you see that? That was a really big bubble. And he said, yeah, yeah, it was. And I said, well, if I blow a bubble that big with one piece of gum, how big of a bubble could I blow with two pieces of gum? So I did something silly. I opened the pack some more, and I took out a second piece of bubble gum. I opened it, smelled it again. Strawberry Splash Bubblicious. I popped that one in, and two pieces of gum, that's too much gum. So my cheeks kind of looked like I was a squirrel or a chipmunk, but I chewed and chewed and chewed and blew another bubble. It popped, but this bubble was even bigger than the first one. And I said, Andrew, did you see that? That bubble was even bigger than the first one. And he said, yeah, I saw that. What if I use 3 pieces of gum instead? And now the bad ideas continue. I opened up the pack some more, took a third piece of that Strawberry Splash Bubblicious, popped it in, chewed it, and this time I blew a bubble that was as big as my face. Andrew, did you see that? He said, what? I said, that bubble was even bigger than the first two. And he said, yeah, okay. He's like, well, that was only 3 pieces of gum. What if I try 4 pieces of gum? And he said, Billy, you sure that's a good idea? And I said, yes, watch this. I opened the pack, got the 4th piece of bubble gum, popped it in, and 2 pieces is too many, so 4 pieces is definitely too many. My cheeks were all puffed out, but I chewed, and I chewed, and I chewed, and blew the biggest bubble I had ever blown. Even bigger than my face, and I've got a big face. That bubble popped, and I said, Andrew, that's it. I'm gonna take the very last piece of this bubble gum, the 5th and final piece. I'm gonna squeeze it in here, and I'm gonna blow the biggest bubble anyone has ever seen. And he said, okay. Are you sure that's a good idea? And I said, watch. So I took that last piece, the 5th one of that strawberry bubble gum that was so good, and I popped it in. And at this point, that's way too much. So the bubble gum was even coming out of my mouth a little bit. Oh, so don't, watch this. And I blew. And the bubble was bigger than my head. But then all of a sudden, a gust of wind came by and popped the bubble, but this time the bubble popped right on my face. And I tried to peel the gum off my skin, and I tried to peel it off my cheeks and my eyes and my forehead. It was on my chin, it was on my nose, and no matter how much I tried to pull it off, it would not come off. It was too sticky. So I had to go home, and I walked to my building, very sad. And I walked up the stairs to the second floor, still very sad and very disappointed in myself. I knocked on the door, and my mom said, "Who is it?" And I said, "It's me." And she opened the door, and she looked at my face and went, "Billy, what happened?" And I said, "I blew a big bubble with bubble gum, and it popped." And she said, "It's all over your face." And I said, "It's all over my face, and it won't come off." So she took my hand, and we walked to the bathroom, and I sat on top of the toilet seat while she found something in the medicine cabinet, and that's where we keep all of our sort of goodies and cleaning supplies and things. And she took out a pack of these things called alcohol pads, which nowadays they smell kind of fine, but back then they smelled horrible, and I really, really did not like them at all. But she took one out, and it was so smelly, and she held my head and took one wipe and would wipe up here, and it wouldn't really come off at first, so she'd have to wipe some more and wipe some more. And then it started up here, and then it took alcohol pad after alcohol pad. First my forehead, oh, I did not like it one bit, and my eyebrows, and I did not like that one bit either, and my nose, and even over my eyelids there was bubble gum, under my nose, on my chin, on my cheeks, and finally, after using so many of those things, all the bubble gum was off, and I looked in the mirror, and my face was bright red from all that wiping. And then I really, really tried to remember after that day, next time I get some bubble gum, I'll chew not 5 pieces, not 4 pieces, not 3, not even 2, just 1. And if I blow a bubble, I'll make sure it is not windy. The end.